week I have Ava Jo O'Connor. She is 10 years old from Cashel, and she has been coming to RK Vocal Studio for singing lessons for just over a year now. And she's also a gymnast. Am I correct in saying that? You go to the
Yeah,
gym, or is it
gymnast and dancer.
dancing as well? And where do you do those classes?
I do it in On Your Toes. It's actually in Clonmel as well. So yeah.
Yeah, cool. So you're traveling in all the way for your lessons in Clonmel.
Yeah.
And how long have you been doing your dance classes?
So gymnastics, I think I have been doing it this year, I think 4 years, so it's a long, long time. And then I have so the gymnastics coach, her name's Madge, and her sister, Jilly, she does a dance um school in Cashel, so I go there. I've been going there for a little over a year now, I like to believe. And then Cashel Modern Dance I do in Holland the Fairlights in Cashel. And I've been doing that for, I'd say, 3, 4 years.
Okay, so you've been kind of going to your classes. And tell me this now, can you do the splits?
I cannot do the splits. I'm not as flexible as I may look. My friend is very, very flexible. She can do all the splits and all.
Well, I actually used to do dance classes years ago, and I never did gymnastics, but we had to like
Really?
do stretches to get into the splits and stuff and kind of that kind of thing. Now,
Mm,
I was never like naturally flexible, but
neither was I.
I had to kind of work to get at it, you know. But
Mm.
and so tell me then, how did you get into singing? Like, when did you kind of know you wanted to pursue singing?
I kind of was singing around like the house and everything.
Yeah,
And my friends were always saying to me, "Oh, you're really good at singing." And my cousin, she's also actually called Rebecca.
yeah,
She goes to, I think she still goes, yeah. She goes to
she did.
RK Vocal
Yeah.
Studios, which you run, and she goes, "Oh, Ava, I actually go to this vocal studio. This lovely lady, also called Rebecca, runs it. I think you should give it a try since you have a lovely voice." So I went for it, and here we are today.
Very good. And so before you started your singing lessons, did you ever like do any shows or sing in front of anyone other than your family or friends maybe?
I actually, so we do a communion every single year, and they have like this solo. It's called like a sunflower. So I went and auditioned for it. So my friends were like, "You're really good. You're really, really good at singing," and I actually got the solo part. So I was very happy with that. And then there's also this play that we did the year before, so Christmas of 2018, and I sang the solo called "Worship Him."
Fantastic. Do you guess what actually? Do you know the first time I knew that I had a talent for singing? My communion as well. For
I
the
know,
The exact same
yeah.
reason. So when I was like 7, I remember our school teacher wanted everyone, she got everyone in the class to get up and sing. It was like, Jesus sat down in the shade of a tree. It's like, I can't
Yeah.
remember it, but it was like a song about like that. And I remember she picked two of us to sing it as a duet up at the altar. And that was the first time I kind of knew that like I had something that I could work on. So really, really similar.
Yes, you're kind of the same age as me. I was kind of
Yeah.
like 8.5 for my communion. Actually, no. Yeah, 8.5, nearly 9. I'd say 9 was like 4 3 months. So
Yeah. Yeah, because I think when I did my communion, which was a good while ago compared to you, just a little while, a little bit longer, we did ours and we were like in first class. You probably were in second class, were you?
mm,
Yeah.
I was. So it was nearly 2 years ago, actually.
And how did you feel when you got up and sang? Did you feel nervous or?
So I was very nervous. There's this lad behind me. He was one of my best friends, and he still is to this day. And he was doing the first reading. I think I sang right after him. So I was like, okay, if he can go up there and do it, I can go up there and do it. But I would always have a tip because I go to like the Christmas choir and everything. There's this picture and there's like a cow,
Yeah,
and it goes, "Look at the cow, don't look at the people."
that is actually such a good tip. Really,
Like
really
I
good
was
tip.
just, it was like I was staring into space, and I could see my mum there. She started crying, and so did my cousin.
Oh, that's so cute. They were probably just so proud of you.
They were so so proud.
But like, little did they know that you were singing to a cow.
Exactly. Like I wasn't singing to any of them. I was singing to the cow.
The cow, yeah.
That
I
beautiful
love it.
cow.
I love it, but that's really good because, over the years as well, like people would have told me when I was younger, don't look directly at anyone in the eye or anything, like look just over their head at the back wall.
Exactly. You even tell me that now. I remember I was doing, I think, well, I'm not even sure if I was doing a gig with you. You were saying, don't look at their heads now, look over their heads because you're not looking at them.
Yeah, because sometimes if you look at them, you might catch eye contact with someone and it could really throw you off.
Exactly. Like, just say if you were doing a gig and there was someone you knew in the audience and you looked at them that you made eye contact and it's like, you like stood there frozen. Like, that would be the worst thing to happen.
It might throw you off. And
Mm.
then you started your voice lessons. And what kind of things were you doing in your voice lessons that maybe you didn't do before? Like, tell people about, like, so you decided, like, shortly after you started me that you wanted to do your vocal grades with Rock School.
Yeah.
So tell people about that.
So Rock School grades, there's 8 of them. I actually got a distinction on my first one. I'm so happy with that. A pass or merit would be great as well, but I'm very happy with the distinction. I'm
Yeah.
actually working on grade 2 right now. We have the lovely Ellie Goulding in the front book. So you do 3 songs. It could be from the book, or it doesn't have to be from the book. You could do a song of choice. You also do knowledge of the voice, and you do technical exercises, and yeah, much more.
Yeah, really good. So like with the grades, the graded material, you would learn how to do your scales, and there's a variety
Yes,
of scales and arpeggios that you learn, and you do a bit of aural training, so ear training about like
you do, yeah.
learning about high notes and low notes and identifying that kind of thing. And then you learn a little bit about music theory and sight reading and that kind of thing as well.
Mm,
And do you remember learning about the improvisation?
I do. I remember, I think I struggled a bit on that at the first time. I wasn't grasping it as quick as I was grasping all the other things, but eventually I got really good at it.
Yeah, because I think most people who like singing and they go around the house singing every day, we nearly always improvise, like we make up our own songs a lot of the time, but we don't realize that's what it
Mm.
is.
Or you sing like nursery rhymes going around the house and you don't even realize you're doing it, or like you're making your own songs, as you were saying.
100%. And then the more you do it, the more confident you get at it.
Exactly.
And what songs did you do for your grade 1 then?
So I did Somewhere Only We Know by Lily Allen, which I actually did for my first recording, and it was so much fun.
Yes.
I did 1, 2, 3, 4 by Feist. That was a bit of an old song, and I also did Mean by Taylor Swift, which was another pretty old song.
I'm
Not
laughing because,
old,
yeah.
not old. It's like 9, 10 years ago when I was born or something, and I'm calling it old. Like,
Yeah, I know it. Well, it's
goodness me.
old for you, like.
Yeah.
New for me, but Taylor Swift is really good, isn't she?
Oh yeah, she's amazing.
I
Like,
love your voice singing that song. It really suited you.
yeah, her transition from like country to pop was amazing. Like, I don't know really how she did it.
Yeah, it's great being able to like fuse genres, isn't it? And kind of do a
Yeah.
mixture. And what do you think now about singing when you're learning? Because before we started the grades as well, we would have done lots of different types of songs. And do you like learning about all the different genres?
I do. I actually love doing it because it's kind of like putting your feet into somebody else's shoes.
Yes.
Like, just say if you were singing pop before, like, I transitioned to a bit of rock when I was in the band, and it was kind of a new era for me, but I got used to it a lot. And then, like, just say if you were doing like a soft singer, like lyric contemporary, and you went into musical theatre, that would have been another leap, but you do it, and
Yeah,
you do it
exactly.
amazingly if you
Really.
work hard at it. Mm.
And in the rock school as well, like they do like a variety. So sometimes they do throw in a musical theatre song, but then they have like, pop stuff, indie stuff, a bit of rock, kind of a mixture, soul, R&B,
Mm.
depending on what grade you're on. And like, so you were just mentioning there that you mentioned a couple of things. You mentioned about recording, and then you mentioned about being in the band. So do you
Mm-hmm.
want to tell people about that?
So, recording. My first recording was with Rebecca and Steven. Actually, Steven is Rebecca's lovely boyfriend. Um, it was a lot of fun. I was pretty nervous actually because it was my very first recording and I've never done something like it before. But then I got used to it. And then with the band, actually, it is a part of Clonmel Junction Arts Festival. And this year they decided they wanted to make 2 bands. So I was a part of one of them and they called it the Broken Cogs. And I also did
Show
a
us your what
recording.
t-shirt are you wearing?
Yes, the t-shirt. It's actually the one
Broken
that we
Cogs.
designed ourselves.
Yes.
And
Very
then
cool.
somebody made for us, a lovely person, and we got them, and it actually has a name on the back. I'm not going to stand up and turn around because these headphones will full on break.
Yeah.
But it was a great experience. And with the recording again, I had to record 3 songs. So they were Gold in the Ceiling by the Black Keys.
Yeah.
It was Brewing Up a Storm by the Stunning, and I Shall Be Released by Bob Dylan, I think, and the band.
Very good. Yeah. And what did you think when we first said it was rock music? Because that was kind of a new kind of area for you, wasn't it? Singing the more rock
Yeah,
stuff.
I was a bit nervous now, but I was kind of struggling at first, a small bit. But as soon as I started listening to you, because Rebecca, you actually sent some voice clips along to see if I could grasp it, and I did, because Rebecca can literally, you can like transform one song and put it into another. Because I remember you were sending us, it was the other band, they're called the People of Rock.
Oh yeah.
And you sent us Sweet Dreams by an accident.
Yeah.
And you've completely flipped it around. I think you made it better.
Oh, thank you. Well, we tried to kind of, I suppose, do versions that like were unique to the two bands as
Yeah.
level and all that. So I think it worked out really well in the end. And like I know for me as a teacher, teaching everyone as part of Clonmel Rocks, it was really cool to see you all grasping the genre of rock, because it is a bit different to pop singing. And I think you all did so well at it. It was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
What was your
And
favorite song?
my favorite song, oh, I don't know now. I was saying when we were doing, so they do meetings like every single Friday. I said it was I Shall Be Released, and I do love that song. It's so sweet, so gentle. I feel like they all bring something different. Obviously, Gold in the Ceiling is more, it's the beltiest one for me out of the lot of them. Then Brewing Up a Storm's kind of chill.
Yeah.
And then I Shall Be Released very soft. Actually, the music video for Golden Seeding, oh my god, was so much fun. Speaking of music video, actually, what we did is we filmed a music video. If you want to see it, it's on YouTube and Facebook. So you say, you type up Golden Ceiling, the Broken Cogs, Clonmel Rocks, or you could just type Broken Cogs, Clonmel Rocks. And the other 2 songs that we did, which were I Shall Be Released and Brewing Up a Storm, are also on there. So
yeah, it was actually so much fun helping you put together the video for that, and like it was such an amazing experience for everyone involved to have like a film crew come and like do a professional recording of you for the song.
Crazy, like oh my god, it was the best experience ever.
And you guys thought of the idea for the video as well, didn't you? All the band members.
Actually, yeah, the band members actually did a lot of the things, because the tutors kind of let them not take charge, kind of decide what they wanted to do for the video and the t-shirts. So that's kind of the fun aspect of it. Like, oh, the kids kind of get to pick what they want to do instead of it being the adults, oh, you're going to do this and this and that. And the music video was, oh my god, it was so much fun. And my teacher, actually, the teacher who's teaching me now, she actually watched it and she said it was brilliant.
Your school teacher, is it?
My school teacher, yeah.
Oh wow, yeah, it's really cool. It was really professionally done by the guys from the
yeah, it was.
festival. And so obviously when we kind of were just organizing the whole event, we didn't know that COVID was going to happen. And then we went into lockdown. So what was going to be a live gig, like an actual gig in a venue or whatever, we had to like quickly kind of change it into a virtual event. So we did online lessons, and we kind of had to learn to adapt our lessons into a virtual lesson platform. So you obviously were coming to one-to-one lessons at me previous to Clonmel Rocks.
I was, yeah.
So how did you find the transition from in-person lessons to online lessons?
So it was a bit tricky at first because it was a different platform we had to do it on. And instead of being one-to-one, it was online. So we didn't know if it was going to be laggy, if the app wasn't going to work properly, but thank God it did.
Yeah.
But after, I'd say, like the 4th or 5th lesson, not even 4th or 5th, 3rd or 4th, I'd say, I kind of got the grasp of it. And I was like, okay, this is going to be happening now for a good couple of months, maybe even a year or 2.
Absolutely. Like, it looks like, one-to-one lessons for most people are going to stay online just because most of us are just working in a single room, and being in a room all day with singers, like the aerosols can build up and it can get a bit tricky. So I think online, but I think we've adapted so much even from the beginning that it's for me, I didn't like teaching singing online at the very start, if I'm honest. But now I'm absolutely fine with it. Like I've just adapted to online. And if you
Yeah.
think about it, even though it was weird not being able to see you in person and kind of have a laugh at you in person,
Mm,
like we still managed to pull off
the same effect
the same.
online.
We did all the lessons online and got you prepared for a day in the recording studio, so we managed to do all of that online, and all of you adapted so well to that process.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun actually, because I thought it was gonna be a big blow up, like it was gonna be a huge mess, but it ended up working.
Yeah, it was really good. You did absolutely
Mm.
fantastically. And so you've had a lot of things going on this summer, right?
A lot and a lot and a lot.
Yeah. So obviously we've just chatted about Clonmel Rocks, but do you want to tell people about the other thing that you were doing, the other audition?
Well, let's have a chat about it. So I also did another audition, and it was for RT's Jonica's Too Talented. If you don't know what it is, it's a television program where young singers and dancers can go on and showcase their talents. But the fun twist about it is that you have to mentor a parent. That was my favorite part of the show. And I chose to mentor my mother, Veronica. At first, I think she was a bit confused, but then she kind of adapted to it. So, yeah, speaking of the audition, you have to do 4 or 5 auditions. I've lost count now. I think it was 4, and they call you, say, congrats, you've made the show. And we were like, oh my God, yay, fantastic, this is amazing, best day ever. And then you had to practice. But the thing is, there was 2 ladies who picked out your songs for you, and they helped find the song that would suit your voice best, kind of like what you would do for me,
Mhm.
Rebecca.
Yeah.
And the 2 songs that you ended up picking, so one for yourself and one for you when you're adult, would be the 2 songs that you sing on the show.
Yeah. It was cool because obviously we prepared for an audition and we did all that, but then the producers of the show, they need to make sure that everyone they pick has like a contrasting variety of songs for the show. So they ended up getting yourself and your mom to try so many songs, didn't they? You've got a
Oh
whole set
my
list of songs
God.
from the summer, don't you?
I swear I could make an album or 2 with the amount of songs I've done.
They put you
Like I
through the
could do,
mill.
yeah, I could do an album of covers. Like the amount of songs that me and my mom did, well, oh my God, was crazy. Like
But
I'd say myself, I did around 10 songs for the solo. And then me and my mom did around maybe another 10. So that was like 20 songs. So I was like, right, this is a lot of fun, but I kind of want to get the song.
it was a lot of work as well. And that's the thing with anything really, is that there's the fun side of it, but there is also the hard graft where you have to put in the practice and the hours, and especially for auditions, they might challenge you to like to change your song up, or they might ask you to sing it a different way or to perform in a different way, or they might ask you to change your outfit, or they kind of can challenge and throw lots of things, kind of hurdles in your way, or
Mm.
challenges is probably a better word.
Yeah, speaking of that, actually, when we were going for the recording, we were like in pod. Well, for the recording of the show. Oh my God, I lost my words there.
That's okay.
We were in like little pods, and they were filming. I think it was 2 shows a day, so it was a lot.
For them, yeah, they had to really be
Yeah,
organized, which makes sense when they were being so, I suppose, everything was planned out with yourself and your mom, because they have all the other people to deal with as well.
exactly.
And what
And
was
I
it
was,
like in the studio when you went? Did you go up to the studio to meet them?
yeah, we did. We went to RTE. Oh
And
my
what
God, it
was
was
that like?
amazing. It was amazing. And as we were saying, like about the outfits, they actually made us bring 2 outfits to the show. So the outfit that we were wearing and a backup. If the outfit we were wearing didn't work for cameras, or they just didn't like it,
Yeah,
they'd say, right, put on your second outfit.
yeah.
And then they'd say, okay, the second outfit works. And actually, I think the time we were supposed to be in the studio was 4 hours, but we were there for 8.
Oh wow.
So this bad thing was they had another show after hours, and hours ended at 6:30.
Okay.
And it took them 8 hours for our show. So we were like, oh my God, imagine what it's going to be like for the others.
Wow.
Because it's their like first show. But we were their first show, so we were kind of like the test subjects.
Yeah.
So if something went wrong, they'd know what to do. And yeah, it was a big building now. Like we went past where the Late Late Show would have been.
Yeah.
And oh my God, it was crazy. Like you feel like a celebrity.
It's so great that you like are confident enough to go forward for all these things as well. I know, you know, anything that's come into my mailbox, I've put you forward for everything, and you've said yes to everything. And like even though it's been a lot of work, like I think you are very brave to put yourself forward and just go for it. And tell your people tell your people about your like your thoughts around like facing rejection. So say if you went for something that you didn't get, and what's your thought when you go into an audition process? Like, do you like, you know, what makes you go for it then rather than hold yourself back?
So it's kind of like tests, like facing rejection. So like my mom always tells me, and so does my dad, do your best, go in there, try hard. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. The exact same with auditions. You go for it. If you don't get it, so be it. It's not that you weren't good enough. It's not that they didn't like you. It's just that they were looking for something else.
Yeah, that's like really important for people who maybe have been afraid to go forward for auditions, to know that like sometimes, yeah, you just might not be what they're looking for on the day. And there's so many talented kids in Ireland that like, and everywhere around the world, that like there's so much competition. So it's like, it's not just about having the talent, but it's about, you know, having a personality and kind of having a good work ethic and kind of all that side of things as well.
That's what my mom was saying, like personality. You might be the best singer on earth. Like you might be someone like Lady Gaga, Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande, Billie Eilish, so on, so on. And you might not get it. Not probably, you might not get it because they might just be looking for something else. Or you might be not as good as the best singer there, but you might have a good personality and they could choose you based on your personality.
Yeah, absolutely. And what has been your highlight of the last year?
Oh my God, so much. Oh my God, it was a crazy year for me. Like, just from doing live mics with you, doing recordings, being in the band, doing Donica's Too Talented, which is coming out next year, so stay tuned. Yeah, it was like a crazy roller coaster. And like also, if you can see in the back, I might have like a poster somewhere. I think the balloon's covering it, but it's like over there. I went to like a concert because I watched this television show and I've been watching it since I was like 3, and I went to their concert and it was so much fun.
What is it? What's the concert?
It was a Canadian show called The Next Step. It's kind of a dancing show, and it's based on these teenage dancers going to these competitions. And they're live in and outside of the studio, and I've been watching it since I was like 3, like since season 1 came out. So I've been like a huge fan of it, and I actually got to go to it. And also like my communion, we actually got to go to our first foreign holiday as a family. I've never been. I haven't been. Well, I didn't go out foreign until I was I'll say 8.5. Yeah, 8.5 was my first time I went out foreign. We went to Disneyland Paris. I actually have like the ears up there.
That's
I have
so
like
cool.
ears that we bought, and they were like €20. They were expensive.
Wow. It's like a life
I'm gonna wear them.
experience doing something like that, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, like this entire year has been like crazy for me. Like, isn't it crazy how your life can just flip upside down in 1 year? Like before I came to you, Rebecca, I wasn't that confident in myself, we'll just say. I was kind of shy around people I didn't know. Well, everyone would be, but I was kind of like hiding behind my mother. I would use my mother as a shield. And I didn't really know anything or what I wanted to do until my cousin Becky or Rebecca, if you want to
Mhm.
say, said, "Look, there's this vocal studio. Go to it. You have to go to it. Like you're so talented. It's insane. It's insane." So I said, "Look, even though Becky did mention it to me, it's my decision, and if I didn't decide to go to it, imagine what my life would have been like. I would have been that same girl, like
Yeah,
not a lot of confidence. Just
I
it's
think
crazy how one decision could change your entire life."
you're so grown up, Ava Joe. I think anyone listening is just thinking the same thing. And it's hard for me to even, kind of know that you were that shy person because when
Mm,
you're around me, you're so full of life and full of energy. And like, I know you've told me like about little things that have happened in your life and that kind of thing and about your lack of confidence, but like it's like you were born to be a performer. So it's
mm.
so hard to imagine you any other way. Um, but I guess going forward, I know we are now just about to start learning for your grade two vocal exam stuff with
Yeah.
rock school, which is really exciting. And maybe you could tell people like what are your plans for the future with music, or do you know what you want to do? What's next for Ava Joe?
Well, I definitely want to continue with music. I really want to finish the rock school grades. I want to do all eight of them because there is eight of them. I'd love to finish off those. And if I wanted to have a career in music, in my opinion, it's all down to luck and talent. Like it's down to like the right place, the right time, and um if not, there's always something I like could do, maybe like teaching or just even do little small gigs.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, when I was in primary school, I just wanted to be like the next Britney Spears. I wanted just to be famous. Like, that was like, I'm going to be a singer.
Everyone did.
As you get older, like, you kind of realize there's all these other jobs that like you can incorporate singing
Yeah,
into. You know, even as a school teacher, you could do a bit of singing with your students in
exactly.
class, and you
Yeah.
know, so but even if you didn't do music as a way to earn money in the future, like it's just such a valuable thing to have for your growth as a person, isn't it?
Yeah, also, I also, like, in my belief, if you work hard at something, like, if you work hard at your craft, you could definitely become successful. Like, the
Yeah,
harder you work, the sooner you'll get there.
I
It,
love it. I love it.
like, it's just hard work for me.
It is. It's hard work, but when you see all these results, positive results coming back, you realize that it's all for a good cause and you realize why you were doing it, and it just all kind of is worthwhile in the end, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Well, Ava Joe, I think that's a lovely place to leave it. So if
agreed.
you've mentioned about Donica's Two Talent, is that coming out early next year, do you know?
They were saying to us when we were backstage, Clara, this is the lady who works with RTE, she was saying it might be coming out in spring of next year or March or April. They're not sure yet, but
Okay, so to watch out for the future, I'll definitely share it on my social media for everyone to see when it comes out.
thank
Absolutely
you.
dying to see it. And then into our grade two, then for rock school. So Ava Joe, thank you so much for coming on and chatting. It's been an absolute pleasure, and you're such a little superstar. And guys,
Thank you.
thanks a mil for tuning in, and I'll chat to you soon. Guys, that was Ava Jo O'Connor. She's 10 years old and she's a little superstar, an absolute legend, and she is like a model example of a music student, and it's an absolute pleasure to teach her. So, guys, this is my fifth week, I think, doing these chats, and next week I'm gonna have someone else on. So keep an eye on the page, to find out who it is, and I'll chat to you next week. Okay, bye, guys.